Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to sit down and film my top 10 purchases from Sephora during the year of 2020. I got this idea from Samantha and Andrea Matillano. I think Andrea did it back in 2019 and then Samantha and Andrea collabed on one for this year. So shout out to them. I got this idea from them. I will link both of their videos down below. I watched them, they were awesome. And I actually have quite a few overlap products that they both mentioned in their videos that I am also mentioning in mine today. So I had quite a bit of items to choose from, I'm not gonna lie. Both the Sephora sales got me this year. But these are my top 10, the ones that I am so happy I bought, that I'm just loving. So yeah, before we get started, don't forget I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for you guys. And if you are interested in hearing my top 10 purchases from Sephora so far this year, then let's go ahead and get started. The first product I want to talk about is the Natasha Denona Mini Retro Palette. I love this palette so much. I am so glad that I purchased it earlier in the year. I think it launched back in the beginning of the year, maybe February or so, and then it was out of stock for a really long time. It finally came back in stock, and I think it is in stock now, but these tones are just stunning to me. I love this like dark green, almost gray shade. It matches perfectly with these other shades together. Like these five go together so incredibly well. Almost every time I do my eye look with this, I end up using all five shades, which I think is awesome. I have 5 Natasha Denona mini palettes like this, and this is definitely one of my top 2. I don't know if I want to say it's my absolute favorite, but it's up there. I'm not gonna lie. I love this palette so much. I am so glad I purchased it. And I think that these mini palettes for $25 are a really great deal from Natasha Denona. Yes, the pans are a little bit smaller, but even if you're not an avid makeup lover and you would only really use this palette and maybe a couple others and you don't have like a ton of eyeshadow palettes like myself, I still think they're good sized pans that you wouldn't go through it too fast. And I love them. The 2 shimmers are really pretty, and then this is almost like a topper shade, almost like Diamond from the ColourPop So Jaded palette. If you have that palette and you know that sort of formula, almost like a Super Shock a little bit, but obviously not because it's Natasha Denona, but it's just like a topper shade, and I love adding this at the end of my look just to give it an extra oomph, an extra sparkle to it. And yeah, I am so glad I picked up this palette. I love it. Number 2 is another eyeshadow palette, and those are actually the only 2 palettes that I included in this top 10, and it's another Natasha Denona palette. It is her Glam palette. This is a little bit newer to me. I got this a couple months ago, but you guys, I'm obsessed. Like, I am absolutely obsessed with this palette. These shades are beautiful. Every time I use this, I love my look. I have not had a bad experience, had a bad look with this palette thus far, and I've used it quite a few times, not gonna lie. I actually have a mixture of these 2 palettes on my eyes today. I tried to use as much of the products on my face today as I could, and I got almost all of them, but this is the eye look that I came up with the 2 palettes. I think it is really pretty and just cool tone, but sparkly and a little grungy, but has a little hint of pink, and I just really love both these palettes. But yeah, this one is stunning. Obviously, it's a little bit higher price. It's the $65 price tag, and I didn't even get this during a sale. Like, I flat out spent $65 on it. I actually think I redeemed 500 points and got $10 off when I bought it from Sephora, but I pretty much paid full price for it, and I would do it again. This is such a stunning palette. The mattes blend beautifully. The shimmers are stunning. I love the cool tone, but you still can warm it up if you want to. This is an amazing palette, and I highly recommend. Number 3 is a product that is a little bit newer to me, but I've just been obsessed with it since I got it a couple weeks ago, so I had to include it. And it is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. This is oil-free and it has SPF 30. I just love this foundation. You have heard me rave about it multiple times in videos recently because I just got it in my most recent Sephora sale haul a couple weeks back, but I've literally been using this nonstop. It is such a good foundation. It was on my wish list forever, and I finally decided to pick it up, and I am so glad I did. I was about to say this might have been my favorite foundation purchase of the year. I really love the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation though, so I don't know if I want to claim that. I don't know if I want to give it that throne, but it's definitely up there. It wears so beautifully on my skin. It's the one I have on my skin right now. I think it gives really beautiful coverage without looking cakey. It's not drying on me, and I have been head over heels obsessed with this foundation. Number 4 is a bronzer that was on my wish list for a very, very long time. It was very pricey, very bougie, very kind of out of my price range, I'm not gonna lie, but I bit the bullet and I finally picked it up back in April during the Sephora sale. You could probably guess what I was talking about. It's the Marc Jacobs. I never can remember the name of this, even though I literally use it all the time and I talk about it in videos all the time. You'd think I'd remember, but I never do. It is their Tantastic. No, it is their Omega Bronze, and the shade is Tantastic. This is such a good bronzer, you guys. I know that it's pricey. I know, it's like $49. I did get it on sale at the Sephora sale, like I said, and it actually has been on sale recently for like $34. Last time I checked, this shade is actually sold out, but if you are deeper than me and you can use the other 2 shades instead, it's on sale right now, so hey, check that out. But yeah, I really love this bronzer. It's a beautiful shade on me. It doesn't pull too warm or too cool tone, like it doesn't look too gray or contoury, but it doesn't look too warm and orange. It's a really great neutral shade, especially for my fair skin. It goes on beautifully. It never gets patchy on me, which I absolutely love. And it's really hard to go overboard or heavy-handed with this, which I need that in a bronzer because I tend to go heavy-handed all the time with everything. And yeah, this one, it's really hard to do. I can apply it and blend it in. It just never looks bad on my skin. I love this. It's pricey, and I don't know, I recommend it. I really do. And I'm really glad that I picked this up. This definitely was one of my favorite purchases, one of the best purchases that I made in 2020 from Sephora. Then we have a highlight from Jouer. I talked about it in my most recent highlighter tag video, so I'm not gonna talk about it for too long, but it is the Jouer Molten Glow Highlight. This was limited edition a while ago, and then it ended up going away, I think, and they brought it back, and I picked it up, and I honestly was a little nervous when I first opened it up and saw it in the package, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this looks like a pretty deep gold shade. Is it gonna work for my fair skin? And it does. It is a beautiful highlight. It never looks bad on the skin. Like, it doesn't emphasize any texture on my skin. It just blends in so nicely. It looks so like stunning and gold and just reflective and beautiful in all the right ways. I really, really love this highlight. I think it is still available. I don't know if it's limited edition this time too, like if they brought it back for good or they just brought it back for a while, you know what I mean? But I am so glad I picked this up. I love it, love it, love it, love it. The next product is kind of weird and maybe not something you would necessarily think of, but I ended up picking up the Veramona and Sephora Color Switch back in February, and I use this every single time I do my makeup. I love it. I had one like this that I bought from BH Cosmetics forever ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was just like really, really dirty and messy and old, and I ended up picking up this new one, like I said, back in February. If you don't know what color switches are, they're just like this, I don't even know, foamy, bad sort of sponge material. You can just rub your eyeshadow brushes in it and clean off the color. Like if you are using multiple colors, but you want to use the same brush and you don't have multiples of those brushes, like honestly, isn't that so funny? Okay, little rant for a sec. I always see like big beauty gurus, like that have millions of followers, and they always talk about having the same brush over and over. It's like, oh, it's my favorite brush, I have the same one. I guess I do that. I mean, I guess I do that sometimes. Like I have 2 of the e.l.f. airbrush stipple brushes, but that's because I use one for bronzer and one for blush. But other than that, like I just have my eye brushes and I don't have multiples of the same brush. Do you guys? Comment down below if you have like a favorite eye brush and you have more than one of that brush that you can just use over and over. Does that make any sense? Let me know down below, because I always hear people saying that in videos and I'm like, I don't do that. So this is like something that's perfect for me, because if I do want to use the same brush but I want to switch up my color, I can just rub it in there really quickly. It gets it off. It's not like a clean, and it's obviously not disinfecting it or anything like that, but it's a great tool to use in the moment. And like I said, I use this almost every single time I do my makeup, mainly because I'm really not good at cleaning my brushes, not gonna lie, but we're just gonna like cruise past that and ignore that fact about me. But yeah, if you don't have something like this, it's a nice tool to have just to use it whenever you need it, and I am so glad I picked this up. The next product is one you've heard me talk about many, many times. So again, I'm not going to harp on it, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in the shade Spotlight. This is such a beautiful highlight, and I bought it this year. I don't know why I thought I had it longer, but I recently got into cream products this year during quarantine, so I think I just love it so much I assumed I've had it longer than I have. But no, I bought it this year from Sephora back in, I don't remember what month, like earlier in the year. and it is the highlight that I have on my face today. It just looks so wet and stunning and beautiful. You've heard me talk about this a million times. It's the best cream highlight. Yeah, I think I want to say that. That's like a bold statement, but I think I want to say it. It's the best cream highlight. I'm not gonna lie. It's so easy to use. You just dot the little puffy guy on your cheeks, blend it in with your sponge, and it looks stunning all day long, all the time. I love it. It's just great. Pricey, worth it. Say that every time, but I mean it. And sticking with Shoutout Tilbury, another new product to me, but I'm just so happy that I finally have this in my collection. I had to add it even though I've only had it for a couple weeks, and it is the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. I just bought the mini. You guys saw this in my most recent Sephora haul, but I've wanted this for so incredibly long, and I was so happy when I saw that she came out with the mini size. That was way more affordable in my eyes. It was $29, and then I did buy it during the sale, so I got the 20% off. So I just I couldn't pass up the deal. I think it was like $23 or something like that. And these pan sizes are pretty good. Like, it's mini, it's small. I have the smallest hands on earth, so just take that with a grain of salt, me holding it. But I still think that these pan sizes are good sizes. Like, my brush fits in them fine. I don't ever have to worry about, like, when I'm going in for bronzer, it accidentally going into the highlight. Like, they're big enough pans for that. This is more neutrally cool toned on me, so I have to build it up a little bit, I will say. And this is not like an insanely blinding highlight. It's more on the natural side, but I don't mind that. I think this is beautiful. If I don't want a super overdone look, I'm gonna reach for this, because I'm not gonna want a super intense highlight or a super intense bronzer. I'll just want something like nice and neutral and natural, and this is exactly what that is, and I love it. Like I said, the full size was on my list for a very long time, and I just couldn't spend the full price. I couldn't do it. I couldn't spend the $68. But $29 with 20% off, I could do it, and I did, and I'm so happy. Definitely one of my favorite purchases this year. Okay, almost done. This next product I want to talk about is one that, like, I feel like I don't really talk about it too much. I haven't really mentioned it in any favorites. I use it occasionally on Get Ready With Me's, and I say I like it when I'm, using it, but I've never really raved about it or talked about it too much on here, and it is the Fenty Beauty What It Do Mist. I love this. I just got the little baby size to try it out before I invest in the full size, but when this is gone, I can 1,000,000% see myself buying a full size to replace it. This is such a good mist. If you don't like scented setting sprays, I don't think you would like this, because it does have a scent to it. It's not insanely strong, and it does disappear. Like, it doesn't linger on your face at all when you spray it on. It's a very light, clean scent, so I personally enjoy the scent, but I just wanted you to know it's there. But this is the mister on this. I'm not kidding you. It is one of the finest setting misters I have ever experienced in my life. It is amazing. Let me do more for you. Like, can you guys just even see that? Oh, it's such a fine mist. I love it. I love it. It sets my face really nicely. It's not mattifying, but it's not luminous, but it does set your face. I don't think it really necessarily makes it stay on super long. Like, this isn't gonna be one that locks in your makeup. This is just a nice setting spray to spray on at the end, melt your powders together. It will make your makeup look beautiful without really altering the finish too much. It does give a tiny bit of a glow, but nothing crazy. If you're oily, I think you would still like it, even though it's called the What It Do Mist. I was scared, honestly. I was like, oh, what if this makes my face really dewy and oily? It doesn't. I love this so much, and the mist, I just can't get over it. I could sit here and spray this on my face all day. Just spray it over and over, because it's just so lovely. If you've not tried this, I highly recommend. I would maybe pick up the mini size, just because if you want to try it out and you don't know you'll like it, but that's what I did, and I'm definitely going to purchase a full size in the future. And then the last product I want to talk about is the Milk Makeup. This is their matte bronzer stick in the shade Baked. So the reason why I picked this over all the other cream bronzers I have, I was going to talk about the Fenty cream bronzer, and then I love the Nude Sticks one. Actually, I didn't buy that from Sephora. But anyways, there's lots of cream bronzers that I really enjoy. I picked this one to talk about, though, because this is the cream bronzer that got me on cream bronzers. This is the one that started it all. I said a few minutes ago that in quarantine, that is really when I got into cream products. I just had been really scared to try cream products before that, and we were in quarantine, and I was home doing my makeup, so I was able to experiment and, try new things. So I just ordered this off of the recommendation of pretty much everyone on earth, because I feel like everyone loves this cream bronzer, and this really, I fell in love with this bronzer, and like I said, it made me want to try all the other cream bronzers that I ended up buying, and I bought probably 4 or 5 since then, not gonna lie. It is the bronzer that I have on my face today. It blends in so beautifully, so easily. How I like to use it is I just rub it on the back of my hand and then take my e.l.f. stipple brush, stipple it on, and then just stipple it on my face. And it is so easy. It takes 2 seconds to blend out. Looks so beautiful on my fair skin. It never looks patchy. It never looks too orange. It just looks good every time I use it. If you've not tried this, which like you probably have because it's like so popular, I feel like everyone raves about it. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend. I would get the mini just because I don't think that you would go through the big size before it goes bad, but I love this. Just warning you, it has like a weird scent, like a Play-Doh-y scent. So when you get it and you think like, oh, is mine off? Is mine expired? No, it just has a weird scent. But I love this bronzer. I am so glad I bought it, and it opened me up to the world of cream products. My cat just woke up and he's on my table. No, kitty. No, 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 baby. Hey, hey, come here. Hey, look. Say hi. Say hi, everyone. I'm Butterscotch. Are you the cutest? Are you the cutest kitty in the whole world? Don't mind my kitty voice. Him was sleeping on the floor and then he woke up, didn't you? Okay, I'll let you down. He's probably like, leave me alone. And then really quickly, I know this isn't like the theme of the video, but I wanted to just talk about my least favorite purchase of 2020. Just kind of like flipping the coin. Those were all my favorite purchases. I want to talk about my least favorite. There has been ones worse than the product I'm about to talk about, like Peach Perfect foundation. Like that was absolutely terrible, but I returned it. And then also the Milk Makeup, like the Kush brow pen, that was terrible, but I returned that also. So I had some duds this year, I'm not gonna lie, I had some duds. But I wanted to talk about this one because it's just like, such a bummer. It's the Makeup by Mario. What is this exactly called? It's his Master Mattes Brightening Pencil in Light 1. I just like am not a huge fan of this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed. I kind of regret buying it. It's just like a cream color pencil. I use it in my waterline, but the reason why I'm not a huge fan of it, I bought it because the ColourPop one I have, I think it's like Honeydew. It's okay, right? Like, it's not insanely creamy. It doesn't last a super, super long time on my waterline. And I just bought this one because I thought it would be better and I thought it would be more, and it's just not. I don't really love that it's a wooden pencil also. I knew that buying it, but I got it in and I realized I just am not a wooden pencil eyeliner kind of girl. And it just like, it's not insanely intense. It's not insanely like brightening on the eyes. I don't think. I feel like it fades on my eyes too throughout the day. And also it just kind of irritates my eyes. So this was just kind of like a bummer and probably like my least favorite purchase of 2020. So that stinks. And that was it, you guys. That was my top 10 favorite best purchases from Sephora in 2020. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite purchases from Sephora was this year that you bought and you just love it and you're so glad you picked it up. I would love to hear what you guys picked up too. I definitely plan on doing this for Ulta also. I have my notes. Here's my Sephora ones and here's my Ulta ones. So I definitely plan on doing it for Ulta also. So keep an eye out for that as well, coming soon. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.